Hey, what's up YouTube? Down in the Smartphone Guy here to do my first impressions video of a new device that I just picked up. I've had it for about 12 hours. This is the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4X. So we'll get into that in just a little bit. So this is the device itself. It is a 5.5 inch IPS display here, LCD, IPS LCD display. And we'll talk more about specs in just a little bit. So I'm going to set the phone off to the side and just kind of show you real quick what comes in the box. Let's see here. So it's all mostly in Chinese because this is a phone that comes directly from China. But you can see here that we have a Snapdragon 625 processor. So if you've seen any of my reviews about other phones with a 625, it is a processor that I really like. In fact, it's probably my favorite. It has a 13 megapixel camera on the back, 5 megapixel camera on the front. This one has a 4,100 milliamp hour battery. So combine that 4,100 milliamp hour battery with the very efficient 625 processor, and you have a phone that's going to last you a really long time in terms of battery. I've seen upwards of 16 hours of battery life from certain reviewers. So we have a 5.5 inch screen, which I mentioned. This is running Android 6.0 with MIUI skin 8.1. So this is, again, the Note 4X, the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4X. Another thing to mention is that it does have 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of onboard storage, and that is expandable with a micro USB or micro SD card, sorry. And in the box, you basically just get the micro SD card, so not micro SD, I'm getting those two confused. The micro USB cord, so nice thick micro USB cord. We get the US version of the power adapter here. So this is just a 2 amp adapter. The phone does support quick charge, but it doesn't come with a quick charge block here. So, and then other than that, you're just getting the SIM removal tool and just a quick start guide that's completely in Chinese, so good luck figuring it out, unless of course you know Mandarin. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look around the actual device. I should mention here, before I get too far into this, that I did pick this up for, I picked it up on gearbest.com. The link will be down in the description. This is the best price I've found on it. So it's $190 at the moment. That price may adjust depending on, GearBest kind of has like flash sales all the time. So right now it's $190. So you can see right here, I picked up the gray and black version. They do have a few other colors available, but at the moment, let's see what we got here. Let's go in there. Maybe not. There it is. Okay, so there's black, there's champagne, there's pink, and light green. So those are the color options that are available. I just picked up probably the boring one, the black and gray, but that's pretty much what I like. So right now, the only option available is the 3 gigs and 32 gig of onboard storage. But they do also make a 4 gig of RAM version as well, just not available on GearBest right now. So we've already talked about all of these features here. So it is running the Adreno 506. I already mentioned Android 6.0. It has all the sensors you would need. The only thing it's missing that you would see in a flagship phone would be NFC. So there is no NFC. You can see here it is dual SIM. So you can put a micro SIM or nano SIM in there, and you can also put a micro SD card in there for expansion. Now this is probably the kicker for a lot of people that might be the reason why you wouldn't pick this up, unless of course you do not live in the United States. But this does not support a lot of the bands that you would need for LTE in the United States. The two important ones being band 12 for T-Mobile. So if you live in a more rural area, T-Mobile tends to use band 12. That is missing here. And then also band 17 if you're on AT&T. Again, more rural areas for AT&T tend to use band 17, not available on this device. So if you live in some cities, you're probably going to get some LTE. But, like me, if you live in the rural areas like me, then you're not going to get LTE. I'm getting HSPA Plus on it with Cricket. So yeah, there it is, Cricket 3G. It says 3G, but it's actually HSPA Plus speed. So Anyway, so I think that about covers everything in terms of specs. Hopefully I didn't skip anything. It does have a 4100 milliamp hour battery, if I didn't mention that already. I think it did. So on the back, we got a fingerprint scanner. We do have our dual tone LED flash there. Of course, our 13 megapixel camera. It is a metal build, so this is metal here, so nice aluminum build. Now the bottom and the top are plastic, so that's worth mentioning because it is a lot like the Honor 6X, which is actually my current daily driver. So the Honor 6X has almost an identical build to this device, except it is more rounded around the sides. So even more rounded than what you can see here. On the bottom, we have our micro USB. Yep, micro USB. It's a brand new phone, and it's coming out with micro USB. So that's a slight negative there. We have a speaker down here, and then a microphone down here. On this side, we got our SIM tray, like I mentioned. So again, that's a dual SIM, and you can kind of mess with it. You can put a micro SIM, you can put a nano SIM, or you can put a micro SIM and a micro SD card in there as well. So we got our headphone jack on the top. We have a IR sensor actually, and a noise canceling microphone. So this does have an IR sensor built in if that's something that you're interested in. So we have our power button and our volume rocker, very clicky, very tactile, very easy to use. And I think that about covers all of the hardware. We do have, of course, that 5 megapixel camera up front. We got a little phone speaker there. There is a notification LED up here, but at the moment I don't have it turned on. So the fingerprint scanner, let's get out of that. The fingerprint scanner works very well. So I'm going to go ahead and show you 3, 2, 1. Whoops, I didn't even touch it. 3, 2, 1. Oh, there we go. I'm kind of like messing up here. All right, 3, 2, 1. So it's a very snappy one. It's not as fast as the Honor 6X. So Honor, in my opinion, has the best fingerprint scanners, but this is very fast. It's very accurate as well. So I do really like that. So in terms of the skin that you can see on here, I've only added a few apps, but basically it does come with the Play Store, but notice like the Google drawer is really limited, and that's because, again, it is the international version. You can add all the Google apps on there, and it does actually come with the Play Store in there, but it doesn't come with a lot of like the typical Google Play apps that you would get standard in most phones. So bloatware is very minimum. So you can see here, this is just some of the apps that they add in there. There's a scanner for barcodes there. That's just a Xiaomi account. Let's see what else. It does have FM radio built in. I should mention also here, it does have hardware keys here, capacitive keys. So we got our back button, home button, and our recent apps button as well. Now, if you hold it, it actually goes into menu. So if you just press it, it goes into recent apps. But if you hold it down, it will go into your menu options. So kind of an interesting little thing there. And this is kind of weird, but you can actually switch these. The actual buttons won't switch, but it allows you in the settings to switch the order of the buttons in case you like the back button over here. But obviously the capacitive buttons themselves will still light up the same way they are now. So they do light up, as you can see right there. So that's kind of nice. So other things to mention, let's go into the settings here. There are a lot of things you can adjust in here. It's honestly kind of crazy. They have this second space option, which is kind of crazy. It basically allows you to have like almost like 2 desktops built on here. So it's almost like a second user in a way, but a lot easier to access that second user. Let's see, what else do I need to mention here? So battery is going to be amazing on this phone. Let's see here. What is this light mode? I don't know if I've gone into that. Simplified home screen. Okay, so that's just like a simple version. We do have these additional settings. This is, I think, where I found all the other stuff here. Yeah, so quick ball. That's kind of an interesting little setting. So if you turn this on, it's got this option here, and you can just kind of go in and you can do a screenshot or a clip. You can go back, you can go home, recent apps, things like that. So kind of a cool little option there. So go back. So we got that quick ball, we got the screenshot option. So there's some options for taking a screenshot other than the main, just power button and volume down would be the main way to do that. We do have some options again for the notification light. So you can change the color for different notifications. And then you can have it light up in certain circumstances as well. So cool options there. There are some headphone effects. So these don't come with headphones, but It does have some headphone effects if you buy some Xiaomi headphones. So kind of a cool thing. You can actually assign the buttons, and it does have an equalizer specifically for the Xiaomi headphones. So that was kind of cool. In terms of buttons, again, this is where you can actually switch the buttons, which I thought was kind of weird, because you can actually make it so that the back button is the menu button and the menu button is the back button, which is kind of weird, because they don't change here. But anyway, so, and then we have some long press options as well. So like I mentioned earlier, that if I long press that, it sends me into the menu, or if I short press it, it's going to give me my recent apps. So kind of cool. Go back into the settings. Let's see here, additional settings. And let's see, there's one-handed mode. And I think that about covers everything in terms of all of our extra options there. There is this dual apps thing. I haven't really tested that out at all. I'll have to test that out for my full review, but it is an option that is available there. So I'm going to go into the camera and kind of just give you a quick look at the camera. So this is the front-facing, or sorry, yeah, the front-facing camera. It's kind of weird. It has this like male 27. That's off. I'm 34, but you know, whatever. So it tries to guess your age. So we're going to switch that around. So far, I would say that the camera looks pretty good. So you can see here some of the options that are available. This does shoot like 13 megapixel. In terms of the video, it shoots in 1080p. It does actually support 4K video, but you can't use the native camera app. It doesn't have that option in the native camera app. But so far, I would say in the experience I've had, so I'm going to go back and kind of take a look at some of the pictures. So that's the front-facing camera in low light. You can see it kind of didn't do a fantastic job in my opinion, but wasn't terrible either. There's another picture, front-facing camera. All right, so there's some pictures, kind of probably blown out a little bit because we're going through my other camera, but the camera quality seems okay. It doesn't seem too bad at all. I actually heard some pretty negative things about it, but I think the details are pretty decent. The color recreation's pretty good. So overall, I would say it's certainly not the best camera, but it's also not like blue kind of cameras either. It's kind of somewhere in the middle, maybe like the ZTE V8 Blade V8 Pro, something like that in terms of the camera quality. No dual camera though, obviously, but decent camera quality so far in my experience. One thing that I have really liked about this phone so far is, and this is true of all Xiaomi phones, but I can't really say that because this is my first one, but we have this theme option here, and there's some really cool themes. I've really kind of enjoyed going through some of these various themes. One that I kind of really like, and this is probably stupid, but one that I really like is this black and white theme that I had on here a little bit earlier. I don't know what I like about it. It's probably going to save your battery like crazy, but it turns everything into black and white, which I thought was kind of cool. But we're going to get off of that and go back into the themes. So tons and tons and tons of themes available. Some of them change your icons altogether. Some of them don't. So this is an Android N theme, which honestly doesn't look that much like Android N in my opinion. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Okay, so it gives you some option for you can switch back and forth between the Android N theme and the regular theme by swiping with 2 fingers. So this is the regular theme with more Android N type icons, and then we can swipe down and it goes back into the main Android theme. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get back into our regular theme and show you a couple other things real quick. So go in here, apply that. So lots of themes available, which I thought was kind of cool. A lot of free themes, which I thought that was the coolest part about it. So let's go into just gaming real quick. So in terms of gaming, I've only played this one game on it. Like I said, I've only had it for about 12 hours now, and for 8 of those I was sleeping, or maybe 6 of those I was sleeping. But gaming so far seems pretty decent. We'll go ahead and just show you real quick what it looks like here. There we go. All right. So by the way, that speaker, quite loud. So it is only that bottom firing speaker, but it is quite loud. There I am. I'm losing. 3rd place. 3rd place is the second loser. That guy is fast. I'm in 4th. I'm getting killed here. This is embarrassing. And it's all being captured on YouTube. It's okay, you can't win them all, guys. Oh man, that's embarrassing. I got fourth place. Embarrassing. Oh well. All right. So gaming so far, the frame rates seem pretty good. I can't say with certainty on all games, but for now it seems like the gaming is going to be pretty good. And it is a 625 processor, which in my experience has been really good with gaming. In that Adreno. Jeez. All right, so we're jumping to Geekbench here, and you can see here that, again, we got our processor that's clocked at 2 gigahertz, 3 gigs of RAM. I'm going to go ahead and show you just real quick some of the Geekbench scores that it received, though. So here's the history. So there it is, the multi-core score of right around 3,000, not quite, and the single-core score of 823. So if I'm comparing that to some of the other devices I've used recently, that's pretty darn close to what you get with the Honor 6X. The Honor 6X has a little slower single core score, like 750, 780, maybe somewhere in there. And then a multi-core score for the Honor 6X that I'm currently using is a little bit higher, like 3,200. But in general, what I would say is performance on both devices seems quite snappy. And honestly, like with my Honor 6X, I haven't really had any slowdowns at all. And so I imagine that it's probably going to be pretty similar experience with the Xiaomi. So anyways, if you're looking for a device that has just excellent battery life, pretty decent cameras so far in my experience, but overall just a real darn good phone for less than $200. I definitely recommend checking out this on gearbest.com. Again, that link will be down in the description. If there's any questions you have about the device, go ahead and leave those down in the comment section. I try to address those as soon as I can. And balancing out my life, of course, too. But with that being said, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.